The U.S. Forest Service and the National Park Service are facing significant challenges as massive layoffs sweep through their ranks. Thousands of employees are losing their jobs, raising concerns about the future of these vital agencies. The cuts come at a time when our national parks and forests are facing unprecedented threats, from climate change to increased visitation. The Forest Service alone has laid off 3,400 workers, while the National Park Service has cut 1,000 positions. These cuts represent a significant reduction in the workforce responsible for protecting and managing millions of acres of public land. Experts warn that these layoffs will have a ripple effect, impacting everything from trail maintenance to visitor safety. The news of the layoffs has sent shockwaves through environmental groups and local communities that depend on the economic benefits of tourism and outdoor recreation. Many fear that these cuts will have long-lasting consequences for the health and well-being of our nation's natural treasures. The primary driver behind these drastic measures is budget cuts. Both the Forest Service and the National Park Service have seen their budgets slashed in recent years, forcing them to make difficult decisions. Proponents of the cuts argue that they are necessary to rein in government spending and reduce the deficit. However, critics argue that these short-sighted cuts will ultimately cost more in the long run. They point to the vital role these agencies play in protecting our natural resources, mitigating the impacts of climate change, and supporting local economies. The debate over these budget cuts highlights the complex challenges facing our nation's leaders as they grapple with competing priorities. While fiscal responsibility is undoubtedly important, so too is the preservation of our natural heritage for future generations. The timing of these layoffs is particularly concerning given the looming threat of wildfire season. With fewer firefighters and support staff, there are serious questions about the agency's ability to respond effectively to wildfires, which are becoming increasingly frequent and destructive due to climate change. Experts warn that these staffing shortages could lead to slower response times, making it more difficult to contain fires and protect lives and property. The potential consequences are dire, not only for the environment, but also for the communities located in fire-prone areas. These cuts are incredibly short-sighted and dangerous, says Dr. Emily Johnson, a fire ecologist at the University of California, Berkeley. We are already stretched thin when it comes to wildfire response, and these layoffs will only make matters worse. The massive layoffs at the U.S. Forest Service and the National Park Service paint a bleak picture for the future of our nation's natural treasures. With fewer resources and personnel, these agencies will struggle to fulfill their missions of protecting and preserving these vital ecosystems. The long-term consequences of these cuts are still unfolding. But one thing is certain: the health of our environment and the well-being of future generations hang in the balance. As we move forward, it is imperative that we find a way to adequately fund these agencies and ensure that they have the resources they need to protect our natural heritage for generations to come. The challenges are significant, but the stakes are too high to ignore. It is time for a national conversation about the importance of investing in our public lands and ensuring that they remain healthy and vibrant for generations to come.